Hello, this is Joe83. This is episode 23 of the My Team Lotus career mode, and we're here for season 2. And as you saw last time, we've started a new teammate, we've got a new livery, and we are second in the pecking order according to the vehicle comparison on the right hand side there. So championship is what we're aiming for. Obviously Mercedes are going to be very tough to beat, but you never know. With a bit of luck here and there, maybe the AI aren't too good on strategies and so what, but hopefully we can do a title challenge of some sorts. Myself and Carlos Sainz really looking to pick up some more good results as we got last season. So straight into Australia for the first race of the season. I hope you like this livery. I really like it. I think it's like I love driving this car just because the livery is really nice, and the T-cam's nice as well. So yeah, best of both worlds. And yeah, into practice, the practice programs are actually really hard. I had a bit of a nightmare because yeah, the deltas were just so difficult to get as the car's getting faster. I don't know, I wasn't very comfortable with the car this weekend in general, but yeah, through practice it's very difficult to get the deltas. But something I should mention was there are a few driver transfers, not as many as I have seen in some career modes, but Kimi Raikkonen retired. His seat was filled by Kevin Magnussen. His Haas seat was filled by Nicholas Latifi, and then his Williams seat was filled by my teammate, my former teammate Nick De Vries. So that was one lot of transfers, and the other lot was caused by me because we obviously signed Carlos Sainz. Kvyat filled the McLaren seat, and then it was Louis Delatraz, my other former teammate, who filled the AlphaTauri seat, and that was it. So yeah, straight into qualifying. While we're just talking about that, my first lap was absolutely horrific, and I'm 17th, so I really need to improve in Q1, because this car, as we said, we're second in the pecking order, so really we should be getting through Q1 easily. But my first lap was, I don't know, I felt like I drove well, but I just can't find the limits of the car at the minute. It's so much quicker than last year that you can drive it way more aggressively, but I just didn't really know how to at this point. Obviously, first race of the season, no preseason testing or anything. So first time driving this effectively new car, so with so many upgrades on it over the last stages of the winter. And big see in Sector 1, we're a tenth and a half up on Giovinazzi's 15th time at the minute, so hopefully we can keep that up, although we have lost time compared to our own Delta, so not too good there. But by the end of the lap, going through the final sector, trying to get a clean run through the fourth last corner, and then this corner was very strange because you felt like you were more aggressive than you actually could be. Second last corner, keeping it nice and clean, second gear, getting a little bit of dirty air probably off the Williams up ahead, and then coming around the final corner. We're barely going to improve, it's pretty much level, and the checker flag is out. Are we going to be into Q2 or not? I don't think we are. We improved by 3 thousandths there, and it's P18 on the grid, which is an absolute nightmare start. This car, as I said, is the second fastest, so we should be aiming for top 5s, top 6s at least. And Carlos Sainz, my teammate, is 7th, and I'm only half a second off him. But the midfield is so tightly packed. You can see from Bottas in 4th down to myself in 18th, there's like 0.8 of a second, so it's absolutely ridiculous. But that's left me in P18, which is not a great start to the season. But it does allow me to have free tyre choice, but I elected to stay on the softs. And actually, I was going to try and stretch it to a soft medium. As I said, that was a little bit faster, and my tyre wear should be okay. So I'm going to fill it up with fuel as well. My teammate Carlos, by the way, qualified 3rd. So yeah, he's getting the best out of the car. He's 3rd on the grid behind the two Mercedes, which is fantastic for the teammate rivalry. But nonetheless, we'll move on to the 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix, the start of season 2. And it's lights out, away we go. We get a decent start compared to Latifi alongside me, and Delatraz up ahead, my former teammate from the first half of season 1. He's going to swing to the left. I'm going to try and swing to the right. Got the inside of Norris, sending one down the inside of turn 1. Norris is going to turn in on me, drag me around the corner. We had to go over the grass there to avoid damage, but Grosjean got a bit of a poor exit there in his Haas, and now Norris just ahead in the McLaren. We've already gained 3 places there, pretty good start, but braking really late into turn 3, sending it on Norris and Giovinazzi, getting it nicely so down for turn 3. Not too aggressive, or not too out of control there, but Giovinazzi just about stays ahead. And unfortunately nothing doing through the high-speed section and the very narrow section of the track here through the middle sector. But coming down towards the next short straight, trying to get a good exit here, we could maybe have a chance on Giovinazzi, as I think my race pace is definitely going to be better than quali pace. It's got to be better, otherwise I'm in the bin. But now down towards the next corner, braking extremely late, and Giovinazzi's braking very early. Got the inside line and track position. Giovinazzi luckily doesn't turn in on me there, which sometimes the AI like to turn in on you when you send one quite late, but thankfully Gio decided not to there. And that's given me another position up into 13th place, and we've got to close down Ricciardo now as soon as possible. But by the end of lap 1, there's a bit of a train going on. I don't know which car's causing it, but it's a pretty long train. It might be to my teammate Carlos. But meanwhile, Ricciardo's going defensive, saving ERS. You can see the lights flashing. We're going into the pit lane almost, and down the inside off turn 1. It's a very aggressive move, but we've just about done it. And that was a very satisfying move to make on the Australian at his home race. Not even the best home race so far, but up into 12th. And now we can focus on the rest of the try and get into the top 10. But let's have a look at a replay at the start. You see Carlos in that in the Lotus qualifying 3rd place, which is pretty insane, really. I think with all the upgrades that I've given him and stuff, he's 91 rated, which might explain it. But meanwhile, I was going down the inside of Norris. It was 4 wide there with Delatraz and Grosjean, which I think is why I got forced over the curve on the inside. But nothing I could really do about that. We just about got through past 3 cars and then sent it on Norris, as we know, into turn 3. Pretty aggressive, but not out of control, so I think it's probably fair enough. And Gio actually stayed ahead in this occasion, as we know, but we got him later in the lap, so that's all fine. And then moving on to the live, and it took me so long to try and catch the next few cars. Kvyat was the next driver in the McLaren on his debut race for them. And it took me 8 laps to get, well, I was pretty much this far away from him for the whole 8 laps because the dirty air around here I found really difficult to close in. But now through the high-speed chicane section, braking nice and late, just the wash of dirty air through the entry there was not good. Maybe it's the sail was wrong or something, or I wasn't driving well enough, which is probably the case. But either way, I could not get close enough to Kvyat. I think because the midfield, apart from Mercedes and Williams, the other 9 teams are pretty much all similar paced, pretty much. So it's all about the qualifying, really. And when we qualify so low, it's so hard to make gains in the race because everyone's just so tightly packed. But meanwhile, Gasly in his AlphaTauri is going to be peeling off into the pits this lap, which raises me up a place, and so is Sebastian Vettel, I believe, as Charles Leclerc actually, sorry, in the Ferrari. But I'm nowhere near close enough to Kvyat, and yeah, 1 lap later, a lot of the rest of them are pitting as well, including Carlos, as you can hear Jeff telling us there. But they're all in for hard, sorry, I think. So I'm going to try and stretch it out, obviously giving up the undercut, but hopefully making it on to the end on mediums by going to lap 11 or 12. But unfortunately for me, Kvyat did exactly the same thing. So I couldn't really push too hard because we were just in the dirty air of the McLaren, and even when he didn't have DRS, I still couldn't catch him. So yeah, we're going to have to pit at the same time as him. It's been really frustrating first stint, really. Obviously the progress was good at the start, but then I just got stuck in a train behind Kvyat, I think in a net 11th place or 12th place. So yeah, really not the best. Hamilton's a mile clear already, so is Bottas actually. The team Mercedes have really romped away with this so far. And you can see that is Charles Leclerc on softs actually, and then Sainz on hard, so Leclerc's on a 2-stop. Meanwhile, we've jumped Kvyat in the pits. Very good job from Lotus. It's not even a particularly quick pit stop, but we've jumped the McLaren driver into 11th place now, and Ricciardo's actually coming back at me with that undercut he got on those hards. And he's going to be running outside of turn 1, very close stuff, but he's losing his pace, and unfortunately, back down into 12th. But it was Gasly and Leclerc we saw who pit early, actually switched to a 2-stop strategy, so I'm effectively 10th once everyone makes their pit stops, which still isn't where I want to be. But yeah, we can make amends on at least one of those places by overtaking Ricciardo if we're close enough here down the shortest DRS straight on the calendar. It feels like we're going to actually get quite a good overspeed and send one down the inside, as we did earlier in the race on Ricciardo, overtaking him twice now, the Australian. And yeah, very good move there from myself, if I do say so myself, which I do. And now going into the few hours later, lap 15, we started to close on Gasly and Stroll. Gasly, of course, on those softs, going to be struggling a bit at lap 15 now. And struggling so much that he's holding up Stroll quite a lot, and you can see he's dropped back loads from the I think it's a Red Bull actually. And Danny Kvyat, the man who was holding me hostage for the first half of the race, is now out. So yeah, amazing stuff that he was able to affect my race massively and then retired anyway. So but the safety car is out, obviously, because why wouldn't it be? And Stroll was actually just stopped for some weird reason. I overtook him because he stopped when the safety car was there, and now I've got to let him back past. So this game being very strange right now, but I let Stroll back through, luckily not losing a place to Ricciardo, and we're both going to go past the safety car now and close up to the rest of the train. But Gasly and Leclerc have actually stayed out on those softs. It's probably helped me out a bit because Leclerc was going to be a long way clear, but now he's only about like 5 or 6 seconds up the road. But my teammate Sainz is actually 3rd anyway, so he jumped Leclerc at some point. But meanwhile, I'm in 10th, and unfortunately the exit there wasn't brilliant, and we're nowhere near close enough to Stroll into 1. So we've got to stay behind for the time being, probably until DRS is enabled actually. And a few laps later, actually the end of the same end of lap 19, so it's still on the restart lap. And Gasly is really holding up Stroll again on those dead soft tyres, and we're kind of getting hemmed in a bit by the Racing Point and the AlphaTauri man. But Gasly's going to peel into the pits. We've got an excellent exit off the second last corner. We go down the inside of the final corner. Very unorthodox place to make a move, but we've made it stick, and that's a lovely move, very opportunistic. And Stroll has to give way, and we're up into 8th place now, and that will become 7th when Leclerc peels off into the pits in a few laps time. So considering he started 18th, I can be very happy with that, to be honest. And meanwhile, there's a yellow flag out. I think Ocon and maybe Stroll came to contact. I guess Stroll's such a bad exit that could have happened. And now Leclerc has actually pitted and caught me up again. So the Ferrari driver really doing good stuff. Actually, he might have pitted under the safety car. I can't actually remember, to be honest. But either way, he's now right behind me. He's going to be in the slipstream with DRS open, and now down towards turn 3. He's going to send one in his Ferrari. We're going to try a hold on the outside. A little bit of contact there, but nothing, no damage done. And we've got the inside for turn 4 and holding that place in 8th for now. Yeah, unfortunately, 8th looks like the best we're going to get. The top 7, which are the Racing Point of Perez and the normal top 6, and my teammate Sainz. So it's a very strange top 6, top 8, to be honest. But either way, I can't catch them. It doesn't matter who they are. But you heard Jeff on the radio there saying Vettel is going slowly. He's got an issue. And Leclerc's, meanwhile, trying to back down the inside off turn 1. And it's very close stuff. I didn't really want to fight him because I still thought I could catch the top 7. But evidently, it's going to be very difficult. But with Vettel's issue, he should start dropping back and into our clutches. So maybe at least one position could be on the cards. But Verstappen is 5 seconds up the road already with only 5 laps left. And unfortunately, yeah, not much doing unless he gets held up by Vettel, which he did actually. So he's only 1.7 seconds now. But more pressingly, we've got Vettel with issues right in front of me. And it's going to be so hard to overtake in this slow speed corners on the track. Unfortunately, he's holding up quite a bit into the clutches of Leclerc. He's buzzing all over my back end now. Maybe he's going to go for something into the next corner. But no, he has to back out of that one. But braking so late. And Vettel, I don't know what issue it was, but it was making him drive it obscenely slowly. You can see Verstappen's already gained a second in about 4 corners. So down towards the chicane, nothing really doing here. The straight on speed of that Ferrari still looks fairly good. It's just through the corners he brakes so early and doesn't take it much apex speed at all. But on the exit here, DRS open, we're going to use all the rich mix we can do and overtake mode and down towards the next corner. The same place we overtook Ricciardo earlier, sending one on Sebastian Vettel, not cutting the corner there, and just how making it work on the German 4-time champion who's having car issues. But hopefully we can use that to advantage to get ahead, and we've got a second gap to Leclerc. But unfortunately, his pace was insane. And starting the final lap of the race, Leclerc's going down the inside. He's using all the overtake mode he can. DRS wide open, and that Ferrari just had too much pace for me, unfortunately. And yeah, he got a pretty poor exit there, but with the DRS he still has. The straight on speed of that Ferrari was just too good, and I could not fight at all. And you see later that same lap, he's got 1.5 seconds. So I was really holding up Leclerc. My tyres started to hit the edge as well, as we pitted very early, and Leclerc pitted a few hours later than me on the mediums. So unfortunately, my tyres started to hit the cliff, and it's not been a fantastic race, but it looks like a very safe 8th place. Hamilton has won, I think, from Valtteri Bottas. And my teammate Sainz, on his debut, actually got a podium finish. So it's like caught in two minds, really. I'm very happy for the team, but also I've been absolutely trounced by my teammate on his first race. But coming across the line for 8th, it's 4 points. It's not unacceptable. Like we've done an okay job, but I would definitely hope for more. I hope Australia is an OP track for the AI, because if not, then I'm in a bit of trouble. But Hamilton wins the race, only a half a second clear of Bottas. Sainz 7 seconds back, and then Albon getting a good result in 4th. But myself in 8th, gaining 10 places during the race, so I can be fairly happy. Obviously, with a better quality, we can do better things, but it was very poor in qualifying. We need to really work on that for the next few races in Bahrain and Hanoi. Championship, obviously, same as race results, we're down in 8th place, actually lower than we finished last season. But Lotus as a team, we're actually 3rd, really a point of Red Bull, so very happy with that. We can hopefully challenge for 2nd in the constructors. Probably Mercedes might be a bit too much to ask for, but either way, onto the acclaim and everything. I actually gained some acclaim there, even though I got absolutely trounced by Sainz. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you're excited for season 2, then leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been JY83, and I'll see you next time.